We are gonna have fun today. All right, so I'm gonna challenge you, and here's the deal. You may very well disagree with me, and if you do, that's awesome. I would love to hear your feedback on this, okay? So I did a poll recently in our group, Kingdom Dream Chasers, because that's who we are. We are women chasing after the dreams that God has put inside of us. We draw close to Him. He awakens those dreams. He gives us the courage and strength that we need to chase those dreams. And so I put a poll out in our group and I asked, which is more important to you when you sign up with an opportunity? So indirect sales and network marketing, is it more are the products more important or is the leader more important? And I was shocked to discover that most of you have an opposite viewpoint that I do. And so I'm challenging you to consider another viewpoint. So most of you chose products, that you believe products are more important. And I would say you're correct, depending on your goal when you join. So if your goal, and here's the deal, I'm going to be really honest, after coaching a lot of women for a long time in this industry, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most women don't really define what their goal is when they join. They just are excited about a product, they wanna help people, and they wanna earn some extra money. That's not really defining a goal. That's just sort of like, what it's really not making a commitment to what is it you want, what is it you need in your life, in your business, how do you wanna show up, and what is that North Star that you're chasing after, okay? So, that aside, um, when you join a company. Are the products important? They are. However, it depends on your goal. If your goal is to grow a successful business versus if your goal is just to have a little extra money on the side, maybe you've got a bunch of balls in the air and you just love these products and you just kind of want them at cost, wholesale. And if anybody else wants them, great, but you're not going to make this a business. If that is you, then joining for the products makes a lot of sense. All right. But if you're honest with yourself and what you really want is to grow a successful business, because what does that mean? That means that there's more money after paying the bills. There's more money to be a generous giver. There's more money to take that extra trip or that next level trip or to do a remodeling project or to do the things that you feel like without some extra money you cannot do. So to have a successful business, it's going to mean that there is revenue, additional revenue, other than just paying the bills, because it's not just about you. It's about wanting to really serve others, really show up and turn your business into a successful business. And then I would challenge you that the leader is more important than the products. Products are right behind it, but the leader, and let me tell you why. Because what does a leader do for you in your upline? And believe me, I'm going to be talking about moving the cheese. If you don't know what that means, you need to hold on. I'm going to be talking about giving you some different analogies about what this looks like when you're making this choice. And I also want to encourage you, real quick, right here, that it doesn't matter how long ago you joined your company. You can make a choice today. You can make a new choice. His mercies are new every morning. We can refresh, renew our why, our drive, align it with Him. Because when our priorities are out of order, we're out of order. All right, more on that later. So, um, why is it important to, if you want a successful business, to have that leader in front of you? What is the leader providing? The leader, a good leader, and I'm using good in air quotes, right? A leader that is going to inspire you, right? Because they're walking their talk. A leader is going to be encouraging you to do things that are aligned with your values. So, for example, if you have a leader who's encouraging you to send a bunch of spammy messages that it makes you really uncomfortable and not in alignment with your values, then that's going to be off, right? A leader who is, like I said, who is providing training, who is consistent, who shows up for you, who knows what your goals are, encourages you with those goals, who when tough times come, because they always do, is there for you to remind you, is there for you to give you a little love kicking the butt when you need it, because the truth is, on our own, we struggle. I mean, that's clear and that's scriptural. We need community. That's another thing a good leader does. Provides a team, has a team culture where women are encouraging each other, inspiring each other. If there's a trip coming up, who's on board for the trip? Let's all meet. Let's all encourage each other. Let's make sure we don't leave anybody behind who really wants to go. What are the weekly goals? How do we achieve those goals? What do we do when we miss the goals? How do we get back on track? That's what a really strong leader provides. And in my opinion, without that, if you're one of those 2 percenters, and this is statistics, true story, they're about 2% of the population, then can on their own muster up the motivation to run on their own. But the rest of us, the rest of the 98% of us, we need community. We need mentorship. We need guidance. We need someone who's gone before us, who's forged the way, and we can follow along, right? Now, um, some of you might be tempted. I've been there to think, well, no wonder I haven't been successful in my business. I didn't have a leader who was leading me well. Now, wait, wait, wait. Don't hear what I'm not saying. It is wisdom if you want to grow a successful business to be following a successful leader that has integrity that you want to model after what they're doing. However, don't move the cheese. Remember, I told you we were going to talk about that. Moving the cheese is your business is 100% your responsibility. And 90% of the success of your business goes on here and it drives what you do every day, the habits that you have, the consistency that is that is what's driving your business. The leader is what's providing that kind of wind behind you, helping to move you through when especially when times get tough, modeling for you that future, what that looks like. They're up ahead and it's like, "Ooh, ooh, she's doing it. I can do it." Right? That's what we're talking about. So don't move the cheese. We are always 100% responsible for our daily actions, which determine future results. Okay. Now, um, so that's a big caution. I wanted to mention it because that's not what I'm talking about here. All right. Now, I also want to caution that don't hear me say that your products aren't important because they absolutely are important. However, if you're leading always with products, that decreases, please hear me, your value. If you're elevating the value of the product and you're not leading with service and your heart and providing value around the product that you sell, whenever that product is not in the picture, then you're not creating the value around who you are. So caution with that, with product being the like elevating the product, all right? God wants you to be the brand so that, not so that you're like, look at me, so that women can be drawn to you, so that you can truly serve them and help them. That's where you'll find the most fulfillment in your business, and that will lead to the most success. Now, I want to use this analogy of depending on where you want to go. So let's pretend that we have two choices. And this is going to be a little I'm going to over dramatize this example to make the point. Okay, so let's pretend you have two choices. On one side you have the choice: paved road, a little sports car, um, and programmed with GPS. You know where you're going. You're going down the road. Now, even if you get in that sports car on that paved road, you're going to hit some detours. You might have to, you get rerouted. There's an opportunity to run out of gas or the oil light comes on. All these things can still happen in that vehicle. Okay. But here's another choice. Another choice is a wagon. It's going to wind you through. It's going to go slower, but you're going to have more time to just look around and kind of enjoy the journey. Now, which path do you want to be on? Because I think a lot of us, when we make the choice to be product driven, we're sort of on that slow cart. All right. We're distracted by shiny objects. We're looking around. We're grabbing a hold of this and grabbing a hold of that. Everything sort of feels slow. And from personal experience, there have been many times in my business, even in the past 5 years, where choices I've made were getting in that wagon. Were slowing me down. Were distracting me. Were putting me in an environment where distraction was at me all the time versus making a decision to get in that car, follow the path, go with the GPS, and go at a faster rate where I didn't have as much time to look around, but didn't matter. I knew where I was going and I knew what needed to be done. So that's the choice you get to consider making. All right. And I know that's over dramatizing, but I really believe that it all goes back to my first question. Why are you joining your company? Why are you in your company? And I don't care if you've been in your company 20 years, rejoin it today. Make a decision. Often I work with clients who have told themselves they want to build a business, but their subconscious is complete in conflict with that because they really don't want to put in the time weekly, the consistency to show up and to do the thing to actually grow the business. So they're in this place of perpetual frustration. So I'm going to challenge you, make a decision, honor God by making a decision and following that decision, following it through. If it is time to make your business a hobby or to tell yourself, you know what? I've got a lot going on. I'm just going into hobby mode. Honor yourself, honor God, pray about it, honor what the Holy Spirit tells you. But if it is the time I'm making a decision, I want a business, I want in that little car, I want on that paved road, I want the program GPS, and then get the mentors, get the coaching, get the system, follow what you need. Because I'm going to wrap up with this. God gave me this morning. Do you remember walking up to like a vending machine, like barely even see those things anymore. But walking up to a vending machine and there's a big white piece of paper on it with a big piece of tape and it says out of order. Remember that? Well, I want you to think about if you have some of you listening, you've probably come to one of my Position to Prosper challenges before. I typically try to run them monthly. Why? Well, because I need daily refreshers about honoring God first, seeking him first. And what does that look like in my business so that I can look at my whole business and make sure that my priorities are in order. Because when I'm not honoring God first, and my priorities in my business are not honoring him first, I'm out of order. Now remember that vending machine I showed you. When that vending machine is out of order, it doesn't work. It doesn't provide. It doesn't do what it was created to do because it's not capable of doing what it's created to do because it's out of order. So when we get our priorities out of order, lots of things get messed up and we start to feel a lot of overwhelm, a lot of discouragement, and we start the shiny objects thinking, oh, please, may this be the answer. So I'm going to challenge you. Come for a refresher if you've already been. Come in. It's the registration link is below, and you can always go to gailroot.com/events to find out when the next one is. But I'm going to challenge you, be all in, be all present. Show up and saying, God, I want to go deeper in understanding what it looks like when I'm in position, when I'm in order. I've got things in order and I'm focused and I'm in that little paved sports car and I'm going down the road, following a system, heading towards the coordinate, trusting you are in the driver's seat, Lord. So hope this blessed you. And I'm excited to hear from you. If you disagree with me,